Good evening, friends. It's Lila here. I have a different camera. My other camera is for some reason not working right now. I didn't want to reset my camera. It's kind of late, so I'm just here with you. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. And the topic I'm going to talk about is stop hoping to be more positive. Yeah, it's a little bit different than what I come with most of the time, right? Usually I'm like, be positive, woohoo! And yet, I just returned from a John DeMartini event. He's one of my favorite authors. I'm looking around to see if I have his book sitting around here, but I think it's in the other room. I should go grab it real quick. What I want to say, though, is he brought a new level of awareness to me, and I'm going to be right back and grab the book and show you. There's two books that I recommend to most of my clients, and I just saw the author of this book tonight, and I really want to talk about this, idea of not being so positive. What if depression is actually caused by the idea that you want to be different than you are? You want to be more positive. Like, what if you just could be okay with negative? What if, your disease, your symptoms you have are actually just your body speaking? You don't need to get rid of it. You just need to listen and make a lifestyle shift. And that was what this was a lot about tonight. I'm just fascinated. And I just want to say, I come on here a lot of times because I'm just going to be honest. I'm a pretty positive Polly because I've been challenged in my life. I know what it's like to have challenges in a hard life. And I really just have done a ton of work and chosen a new perspective of everything is how it is. And even if it's not so good, it's okay. And what he explained it from a really scientific standpoint is that your body, your brain is really trying to get into a homeostatic place over and over and over throughout your entire life. Right? And when we hang on to these stories, these ideas, a lot of people have challenges around their life and religion, or their life and a morality. And there's these things that just don't align. And it's often because there's some story we're brought up with, we're told something, or we had a life experience that we're very ashamed of. That we're, we kind of want to hide it, something like that. So sometimes we don't even know it. So it's unconscious. It's expressing itself one way, but there's a deeper opposite. Basically, the idea is opposite. So what if when you were negative, you could just be more observant, I'm feeling pretty scared about that thing. I feel sad. Instead of trying to push it away, go to the doctor, go to the therapist you talk about it for 20 years. What if you were just to be okay with it and see it as a way to shift directions a little bit? Embracing the feeling of not feeling amazing. I'm gonna read to you a few things from what I wrote down. This is the first thing that opened up, so I'm going to share this because this is what I would say. If you're going to take anything away to this evening, would be this. Would be anything, if you really want to make a difference, if you have no idea how to make a difference, and then I'm going to show you the books. If you have no idea how to make a difference, just say thank you and I love you. Thank you and I love you always works. It's the best thing you can do to really make a difference. And what John DeMartini, so I'm going to show you these books before I pull that up. This is the book that I love, How to Make One Hell of a Profit and Still Go to Heaven. It talks a lot about money mindset and how to have your, mind in a place where you feel deserving. Chapter 4 is my favorite. It is from self-worth to net worth. And what's highlighted is that ultimately you receive exactly what you feel you deserve. No more, no less. And my belly just got butterflies, a little bit of emotion I felt over that. Okay, because I guarantee you there's somebody out there watching this video an hour later that you don't feel like you're receiving what you're worth. And that's often because there's some story holding you back. Something's holding you back. Okay. He also wrote, this is what I am so fascinated. So there's, I've done a lot of work around money mindset, and I continue. That's why I have coaches, and that's why I go to events and read books and work, consistently on my own numbers and, getting better and better at all that stuff. But this is a book that talks about, this is Louise Hay, and I've had this book on Facebook Live before. You may have seen it. It's You Can Heal Your Life, and the idea is that your physiology, your body, your diseases, your ailments, your problems, your symptoms, everything has some sort of association with what you're thinking, what you're holding on to, some story, maybe, or some feeling, some thought that's literally not serving you. It's like this idea that things have to be hard, or this idea that like the world is a tough place. Well, you're probably going to have tough things going on in your body. There's a ton of, if you're gaining weight, you're protecting yourself from something. Okay, I'm going to be doing a challenge. I don't like to call them challenges, so I haven't decided what the word's going to be. But a challenge, we'll call it for now, in February, because I know January is a time where everybody's like, rah, 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 and I even have clients who are like, rah, rah, rah. And then February comes, and it's cold. People go inside, and they start eating your mashed potatoes and gravy, which is totally fine. But in the meantime, I want to help people, support people, provide some accountability, so watch out for that. I'm going to post it. Just get a little group together, just a few people, whoever wants to. I'm going to do if you'd like to, I'm going to do a 3-day detox where you can eat and everything. I'm all about eating. I haven't done a no-eat cleanse yet. I'm not there, but I'm do a 3-day detox, and it helps people support people with their weight loss and their exercise and all of that in February, because it's really the time of love, right? And what better way to love than love yourself? You're already giving love to others. You want more love from others. Give it to yourself, and then watch it come in the way you want. And so what I want to tell you, though, what's fascinating about these two books, and nobody's on live right now, and I really appreciate whoever's watching this later, because I'm such a dork and nerd, and I'm an intellect in so many ways, and I love this kind of stuff. So I just really appreciate you right now for being in this moment with me, to honor this depth of experience that I had this evening, that I want to share, that something may spark something inside of you, or somebody even. So this book was given to Louise Hay by John DeMartini, the content of here, and then she wrote it and got it, wrote it up and published it. But John DeMartini gave Louise Hay this book, the content for You Can Heal Your Life. So this is the gentleman that I saw this evening. And what I would say is he just really opened my mind to areas in my life where it's almost like, it's so interesting. It's almost like you can hide or something. Like you can just go down one direction. Like my business, it's so exciting and I love it. I get to be so creative and work with amazing people, do the work I love, all this stuff. And yet there is still space, like, I've been so good about my food, but then sometimes when I get really focused on my business, I'm not as good at my food, right? And I know other people are like that. I'm always talking about food. So I'm so conscious of it, like trying to get it in line. Relationship. I'm so single and I want to be in a relationship, right? And I'm working on that. I'm kind of like, half season. And there's just space for growth, right? Things that but you can almost like not pay attention to them. I noticed that there's, you can just spend a decade working on a project or projects or your business. And then before you know it, you like look around and nobody's there. And you don't want that to happen. Or you look around and you're like 50 pounds away because you've been sitting in your computer working on your emails. So we don't want that. We don't want that kind of lifestyle. And also the positive, back to being positive. You're not supposed to be. If you were, you would be. So what John DeMartini was arguing is this idea that that we only have to have health without disease. That we only have to have happiness without sadness. That we only have to have harmony without any sort of imbalance. That we only have to have heaven without any sort of hell. Is this true? No. Hey, Samantha Faye. Hey, Angela. I want to say that again. You guys might appreciate this. Yeah, the fact that, if we're going to have health, we're going to have disease. If we're going to have happiness, we're going to have sadness. If we're going to have harmony, we're going to have imbalance. If we're going to have heaven, we're going to have hell. So step into a new paradigm. It's like we're not supposed to be always in happy, right? We're moving towards happy more often, but what if we were just to observe the other side of the coin and be okay with it instead of fighting it, resisting it, being okay with it, letting it flow, breathing, just crying that shit out. I'll tell you what, it's been a while, but there's been many a days where I've been crying on this kitchen floor. I'm not sure why it's the kitchen floor. Everybody's got their thing, right? Kitchen floor. If you let yourself let it go, and then I'll do Shavasana, I'll just lay there for like an hour. Women do, whatever stuff. Men do stuff, weird stuff too. We all do weird stuff. But what I would say is that there's this form of like what might look to some like, oh, she's not being positive. It's better, I believe, to let the emotion flow, be okay with it, embrace it, and see it as a way to move forward in a new direction, with a new energy, drop a story. Something's not serving, right? So I want to share with you a little bit about this idea that physiology and psychology are intricately connected. So your psychology and your physiology, so your thoughts, the way you think, like the thoughts that you're having, the way you think, and your physiology, the way you move, what's going on, what hurts, what diseases you have, what toe you broke, what wart you have on your hand, all of it. It's related. And what's fascinating, this is what was really fascinating for all y'all that are kind of geeky like me, that think about systems and categorizing. He talked about 4 feedback systems. We get this feedback. So I'm finishing up the Bowspring Body Coaching Program, and it has been fantastic. And one of the things, that I often say is your body is your best friend, okay? Your body is your barometer. Your body is your billboard. Like, I can see what's going on with you, girl. People say, do you see how I walk? No, I don't pay attention because it would drive me crazy. Because I would know what's going on with y'all. I got a little energy. If I pay too much attention, I can see stuff. Between the physiology and the energy, it's just, So I don't pay too much attention. Because otherwise, it'll drive me crazy the way you walk. I know too much. So, but if you want to learn a new way to walk, let's talk, because I'll teach you. We got some videos on that. So here's what I want to share. The psychology and physiology is connected. The mind, body, that kind of makes sense, right? Some of you, that might be a new concept. Some of you, it might make sense. Some of you might even be living in that space. Like, I totally get it. Like, if I open my body, my mind will open. If I open my hips, my mind will open. I'll have an expansive bank account if my hips open. Some of you guys are in that space already. If you're not, get in it. It's fascinating. You'll feel healthier than ever too, and energized. Here's the other part though. Sociology and theology. Fascinating. So your body is giving you feedback on what aligns with yourself from a sociological perspective. So society, like the laws that govern our nation, the rules along the road, the school systems, okay? The roles of husbands and wives and kids and families, what you're supposed to do when you go to McDonald's, all of that stuff. Hopefully none of you are going to McDonald's. I'm going to reverse. Don't go to McDonald's. Don't go to McDonald's. So sociology. So your body, you're going to know, you're going to have your intuition, your soul is going to have this like feeling of whether the societal thing works for you. Some people it does, some people it doesn't. We all have different spaces. It doesn't work so well for me. I tried to play in that world for 15 years, and man, it just was hard for me. That's why I'm an entrepreneur. So if anybody out there is ready to break out of this, I'm going to get a little crazy on you. But seriously, if you're ready to break out of that system, that societal, that institutional system of corporate or wherever you are, it's just not, it just feels like, ugh. It's not you. It's not the truth. Your body's getting your feedback system. Like, consider listening to it. If you want to start a business, let's chat. Or talk to somebody, start exploring, start understanding that if you value yourself more, you'll have a more fulfilling life. You don't have to, but if you want to, try it. So theology is another one. Like, so the way your perspective on theological concepts, gods, goddesses, do you look up to something that tells you what to do? Do you feel like you have a direct connection? All of this you're going to have a feedback system on, hey, Faith, what's up, girl? Spreading faith and, restoring faith in humanity, right, girl? Raising the vibration. I'm talking about this idea that let's stop hoping to be more positive. I just saw John DeMartini. He's the author of How to Make One Hell of a Profit and Still Go to Heaven. And he's the one who gave all the content for Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life. This is all about mind-body connection. I'm like so geeking out tonight. So this video, I hope for anybody who's watching it, if you're still watching like 16 minutes in, nerd alert. Thank you for being my friend. Because I know I'm like totally with my notes and my books and talking mind body and all this, ology stuff, psychology, physiology, sociology, theology. So I know there's some of you out there might be interested. That's what's up. That's right, Faith said. So just basically, I think the lesson here is pay attention more to, the fact that like if your body, something's going on with your body, or you're kind of not your energy, or just like start to take notes. If you're not sure what's going on, it's not always like something's wrong, you got to go to the doctor. Something's wrong, you got to call a friend. Something's wrong, you got to post it on Facebook. Something's wrong, you got to fix it. No, you're not going to, everything's not actually supposed to be perfect. Homeostasis. Your life is about balance, or not even about balance. It's about the consistent movement towards expansion through this finding of homeostasis over and over and over. You like something, you don't like it. You like something, you don't like it. There's never a time you're in a relationship, it's always perfect. There's never a time you're in a job, it's always perfect. It's good sometimes, less enjoyable sometimes, enjoyable sometimes, less enjoyable. So it's like that with yourself too. So I would say that there's a lot of people suffering from depression because they want to be somewhere that they're not. So it's this fantasy, it's attachment to like, I've got to be there. Well, they're never going to get there because they're here. So be okay with where you are, even if it feels really shitty. Just be like, I'm feeling really shitty today. But I know that there's the possibility to feel better than this. Not like, oh man, I should feel better than this. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just can't get over it. I am just down and out. My mom is always down on me. Blah 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 blah. My husband, blah 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 blah. All the stories, I guess I don't have to go there because everybody knows somebody who's got their stories and they're just down and out and you can't get out of it. And I'm just here to say I honor that. And it's not a fun place to be. So if you're one of those people, if you know somebody like that, let them know that, hey, it's okay to feel negative sometimes. Why don't you just be okay with negative? Just yell, scream, kick it out, draw it, tear the paper up, and know that it'll pass. Know that that's the natural vibration of nation, of the whole world, just like the hurricanes come. Just the waves come in, the waves go out. The tide's not always high. Tide goes out too. Tide has to go out to come back in. Okay, just the same. So I hope this was valuable for you. And I am happy to be here this late because I'm usually, 6 a.m. I'll be back with you in about 7 hours probably. But I just get so jazzed when I go to these events, and when I come home, I usually can't sleep right away. I have to take like an hour or so to kind of like wind down. My mind is quite alive. I'll probably do some writing tonight too. And it's really a pleasure to be here. And Faith, oh my gosh, what a pleasure to be here with you too. And what a pleasure to be, you know, like connected with somebody who's has a mission, has a vision, has a willingness to like step up in a way where you're like, okay, I'm going to listen to my body. I'm going to listen to my mind. I'm going to listen to my spirit. I'm going to listen to my people. That's all the parts, right, that I mentioned. It's like your physiology, your psychology, your sociology, your theology. You know, integrate it all and watch. Oh, and Faith, I was thinking about you, by the way, and this is something that'll be valuable for everybody. You're adorable, sweet pea. I love all your fashionista stuff. So I learned, I forget where it was, just yesterday, but you know, studies are done about how long you live and you exercise and you eat great and positive attitude, but the biggest thing is your relationships. Is the people that you have around you, you know, the close people. So consider, as Faith would say, you know, fire feeds fire. Yes, girlfriend, upwards and onwards. So like Faith says, the next decade, the next 10 years, I'm going to paraphrase because I might do it wrong, but the next 10 years, the growth in business, the growth in the world, the improvement, let's say the vibration lifting, is through the power of connection. So if you decide to connect, you know, if you want to connect with me, reach out, connect with Faith. She's got some comments here. You can reach out to her. I'm sure she got ounce of faith. She'll love that. But connect with yourself, connect with others. Start building connections that feel really yummy for you, that build you up, but also challenge you. Now, if someone's always building you up, we talked about this. How many of you women want some guy that's always like, oh, you're so amazing. I'll do anything for you. Whatever you say. No, that's not hot. No, that's not hot. You want somebody that's like supportive and all of that, but you want somebody who's going to challenge you and be like, I think you should wear the red shoes tonight, not the black. Right? Not always just be like lifting you up, because it's just natural to homeostasis. You'll bring them down. But if there's someone trying to bring you down all the time, hold on, you're gonna be like, well, I'm gonna rise up. So you gotta find someone who's on your level, right? And you gotta be willing for it to not be always positive, to notice the negativity and be like, huh, fascinating. We can either just be with it or shift directions. Yeah. So power of connection. Next decade, get connected with us. You know, get connected with your body. Get connected with your society, your spirit, and your mind. You know, all of these different parts of you, and you start to notice that everything's all right. You're not going to fall off the planet. We're all here together. Big hugs. Love you. Hey, Jabola, the next 10 years of income. Okay, so Faye says the next 10 years of income will be generated through the power of connecting. I tell you what, girl, I believe it. I believe it. I did my visioning for 18 months, and I'm going to revisit after even the first month of January, because I got new ideas about like how can I connect. You know, how can I make the things work that I want to make work. So yeah, connecting, Faith. If you always get along with someone, you don't need them in your life. That's a good one, babe. That's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. So I love that. That's really good wisdom. That's a good ounce of faith even, maybe. I don't know. You have lots of them, I'm sure. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, and have a really, really restful evening. Sweet dreams. I hope they're full of butterflies and unicorns and puppy dogs. Blessings.